So NVK takes is a collection of scripts which is included in my NVK workflow package, which allows you to easily deal with files that have multiple variations in a single file. They give you the ability to embed take markers in files, which you can then use to easily shuffle between different versions in the same file. This also allows you to quickly make variations which go to the different variations in the file if you're working on a layered sound with these kinds of files in them. So it can be a really quick way to work. And yeah, let's just get into it. So I'll go ahead and get back to a starting point here. But that first script you saw me run is called consolidate takes with take markers smart. So what this does, I'll just run it on one file so you can see, is it automatically trims to the first variation, and then it embeds these take markers into the file based on kind of an analysis that I do on the actual volume of the different variations. So it does its best job to kind of find the variations. It's not perfect, but with kind of mastered library files that leave some silence in between, it does a good job. It struggles though with files that have a lot of noise or are longer and maybe not normalized. And that's something I'm going to try to improve. But if you have any files like that it doesn't do a good job with, you can still use the dynamic split if you want, or manually split it yourself. And then I've included the script consolidate item splits as take markers in first item. And what this does is take the selected splits that you've made, and then when you run it, it does the same thing basically, just at all the different split points. So you can use dynamic splits, and now you can shuffle through those variations the same way. In addition, I've also included for manually adding takes, there's quick add numbered take marker at mouse position. So this one, you can just hover over the place you want to take and then trim, and same thing basically. So you have all these different options. Of course, if you can use consolidate takes with take marker smart, that's the quickest way, and you can do it on all the items at once. So that's how you do that. For selecting the next take, I'm using the script select next take smart, and there's also select previous take smart. The difference between this and the normal select next take script is that it's going to go to the next take marker, not actually the next take. If you reach the end, so let's add this as a take in this item. So now this has two different takes. When I run this, it's going to look for the next take marker, but then if there isn't another take marker, it's going to actually go to the next take. Once you reach the end of that one, it'll go back to the beginning. So you can just shuffle through and find what you want in your various takes using that. And then select next take. This one doesn't look at take markers and just allows you to go through different takes. It works a little bit better than the normal select next take, especially if you're using folder items. The other script, which is really useful, is duplicate items and select next take smart. This one just allows you to select all the items in your asset and then run it, and it will duplicate and automatically move it to the nearest second in time, just to give these a little bit of space. As you can see, it's gone to the next take in each of these items. So if you were making 6 variations, you would just have to run this 5 times, and now you have 6 different versions of your sound that all use a different variation. So that's kind of the basics of NVK takes. The rest of the scripts are helper scripts that cover some random functions you might need. So NVK takes reverse. This one, it's similar to the normal reverse, except it will use your snap offset, and also it won't mess up your take markers. So when I reverse this, you can see the take markers are still there in the same place. Normally, if you reverse, they'll get messed up. Then there's also render to the new take with effects. So let's say I had an effect on this item. This one, if I use this to render, it will keep the take markers in your rendered version, whereas the normal render would just lose them. Another one is copy take name. This is nice for renaming items. So let's say you wanted to use the name of this to rename this one. I just run this copy take name script, and then now when I rename this, I can paste it in there and use it for that. So it's just nice to quickly get the name of something. Another nice script is toggle width effects, or toggle track width envelope. This script's interesting. As you may know, Reaper doesn't have any take width envelope. So if you want to just affect the width of an item and not actually the track, there's no way to do that easily. Usually you have to just add an effect to the item or draw in some automation. This script, if you don't have any items selected, it will work as the normal toggle width envelope action. So you can open up the width envelope for the track. But if you do have an item selected, it allows you to specify an effects that you want to use for width. So for this one, I've just run it and it's added ozone imager, some automation on it. So if I want to have more width, I can just automate that up. And if I want less width, I can automate it down. And it's a toggle. So if I run it again, it removes it. And the way you set it up is editing the script. You can go ahead and specify the effects you want and then the parameter name. So let's say I was doing width knob, for example. To get the effects name, it's this text right here, width knob. And then the parameter you can find in the list, it's just width. Or by hitting UI, you can see it right here. So you would just put in the script width knob, and then I already have it as width. And then if you save that, now when I run this, it's going to automatically add the width envelope and this width effects. So then you can change the width of the take using that. So that's a fun little script. Another script I have in here is for helping out with surround files. There's actually two. So there's convert 5.1 to quad and also remove channels. So these are common things you have to do with surround files, especially in games, because generally you don't need ambiances in 5.1 and you rather have them as quad, but a lot of recordings are actually 5.1 files. But this one, I have a 5.1 recording here. If I run the convert 5.1 to quad script, it gives you a few options. You can specify the center channel. So in this one, I think the center channel might be 2. I'm not sure. I'd have to listen to the sound, but if it is, I would just put 2 in here. And then this is how much you want the center channel to be sent to the left and right when it renders. So -3 is kind of the standard, but you can change it to -99 if you don't want anything. LFE channel is basically the same thing. So it looks like the LFE is on 4 here. So I can just leave it there, and then I can determine how much of the LFE I want sent into the original channels. So if I hit OK, it's going to bounce it, and then you have a quad file, which takes into account the center and sub. The other one is remove channels. So let's say for whatever reason, you didn't want the second and third channels here. You just wanted the first and fourth ones. So with this, you can just do a comma separated list of the channels you want to remove. So I want to remove 2 and 3. So I'll just go 2, 3, and then hit OK. And now it's removed the second and third channels. The last script is select takes containing text in project. This one is nice if you want to find some files in your project. It's obviously not very useful in a small project like this, but I'll just show you how it works anyway. So let's say I just want to find files with cloth in their name. I can just type in cloth, and then it will select those files. So I can delete them or do whatever I want. Now that they're selected. That's NVK takes. It's a part of the NVK workflow package, and they all work well together. So I would recommend watching the other videos to give you an idea of what the other scripts do. But yeah, thanks for watching.